Hey, real quick, just for the new people that are just joining us recently, I want to make sure they understand. Guys, the purpose of this channel is much bigger than just helping people to profit from this information. I mean, yeah, it's great to have the edge that this channel provides, but it's not about that, guys. It's a bigger picture goal. We're looking to spread good deeds into the world and make the world a better place. And the way that we do that is by making sure that everybody knows they need to follow the rule of karma for the channel, which is 5% of the profits from the information made through this channel should be donated back to one of these charities here on our resources tab. Right, there's some great charities here, or if you see a better charity somewhere else, or there's a homeless person on the street you want to help, something like that, make sure you pay 5% of those profits forward, and then 5% of the profits backwards to PayPal or Cash App to the channel to help support the channel, because we're not trading for the most part, guys, to maintain like an unbiased ability to read the readings for you. It seems like a gift that's best used for other people rather than for myself too. It just seems to work better that way. So with that said, we do need your support. That's the rule of karma. Make sure you spend the remaining 90% out of love. As long as you do that, the universe is going to set it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. Here's the prediction for April. This is the TSLA 1 month overview reading for the month of April 2023. It's currently March 12th, 2023, 5:53 p.m. Eastern Time. TSLA at the time of this reading is currently $173.44. That's USD. And the shuffle file we're about to play for the April TSLA reading was created on February 16th, 2023 at 10:18 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the month, there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance. That's on a multi-day scale, probably on like a year-to-date kind of scale, key resistance. We fail to break through it, and then we turn around and we decline through key support, again on a multi-day scale, probably on a year-to-date scale. Now that failed attempt to break through resistance and the decline through key support, they're crossed with the rally along a diagonal trend line breaking through, rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a decline through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Behavior around the high, I'm advised to be cautious around the high, so there's likely multiple false tops or false bottoms or some sort of misdirection. My sense is that the Prudence card and the Devil card, there's some sort of trickiness going on here with chart behavior on the 5th. And my sense is that we have a high around that time, so that would make sense to see that Devil card end up there. The Devil card also has a cross correlation to the 1 year when we're looking at the April cluster. The Devil card appears in the April cluster, so that's pretty significant as well. Behavior around the low, we have a move higher through key resistance that's on a multi-day scale. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level with the full retracement of that move. Usually when you see this in a low, there's like two lows with a peak in between. Before we go any further, guys, let's take a look and see how we did on the February reading. All right, so the February reading, we were trying a couple new things here. Unicursal is important. All right, so we had a high on the 15th, 16th. This is February 1st, February 28th, these vertical lines. High on the 15th and again on the 16th. So we nailed the highs, guys. We nailed the highs. And then it looks like the low is at the very beginning of the month. So we were off on that. We did have an early low before the high, right? So pattern of what do you call it? Pattern of sequence of events really does line up. You can see here on the 6th, we were close to the low on the 6th. Pretty close to the low, significant. And then we rise up on the 10th, we have a crest. Looks like we're off by a day on there. Drop back down, halting of a bullish trend. And then high on the 15th and the 16th, followed by another close to a low, and then another close to the low. It looks like we're off a day on both of these. Like I have the 21st and the 23rd as lows, and here it's the 22nd and the 24th off by a day. But that's why we always say go by the sequence of events. The chart pattern behavior is the most important thing to follow. But with that said, guys, we still did pretty solid. This reading was predicted back in the shuffle file for February was created on January 9th, 2023. So with like over a month in advance, we predicted where the highs was and the pattern of events were with lows on both sides of the high. Not bad, my friends, not bad. It's not our best work, but definitely not our worst by any means. All right, so with all that said, guys, let's get into it. On the 3rd, we have a support level that's highlighted. There's a key support level there. It also looks like there's 3 trades on the 3rd. There's a big trade day on the 3rd. So key support level that can be trusted or relied upon is highlighted on the 3rd. And 3 trade opportunities. So there's a day trade and a swing trade opportunity in there, which I'll get into in the paid version, my friends. On the 4th, we have we open higher on the 4th. Notable move overnight, and then we move even higher into the end of the day on the 4th, where we have a peak or crest, and then we sell off pretty notably from that peak or crest through multiple support levels. It's an overbought peak or crest there. On the 5th, however, there's some sort of fake out, shakeout. There's a resistance level near the low that's highlighted of importance, but we have this big move. We have this big move towards the end of the day. It's either the 5th or the 6th. I think it's on the cusp of the 5th or the 6th, but there's this big move towards the end of the day to the upside. It's kind of like a fake out. Be wary of that. That's that devil card in action. We come back to a support level the following day. Rotate sideways along key support the following day. And towards the end of the day, there appears to be a breakout of some sort. Markets closed on the 7th. On the 10th, looks like we probably opened lower on the 10th at a prominent trough. But there's a crest that's highlighted on the near overbought crest that's highlighted on the 10th that we sell off from, notably. And then out of that decline on the 11th, there's a notable move higher, pushing for distant resistance. There's a notable low in here, guys. Notable low. Like I'm pretty sure that the lowest low or the lowest low thus far takes place here on the cusp of the 13th, 14th, with either the same low on the 25th or a lower one. But we may see the low here. There's a lot going on between the 11th and the 13th. There's a trough here, an important trough. Right on the cusp of the 10th and the 11th, and we move to the upside even in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. There's a peak or crest that'll stand out on a multi-day there on the 12th, and we sell down to at least meet a support level that we had recently met in a decline just recently. So probably like on the 10th, we sell back down, or matter of fact, it might even be. It's the end of the day, we sell back down, and there's another trough there on the cusp of the 12th and the 13th. A crest on the 13th that we sell down to and through support. We stay below that support just momentarily, where we do a U-shaped reversal, come back and reuse it as support, and then there's an even lower price level on the 14th. Looks like out of the low, the early morning low on the 12th, or excuse me, on the 14th, there's a rally along a diagonal trend line that takes us into the 17th, where we push the upper end of a range higher. But that's a fast, sudden move higher, marking the end of a rally along a diagonal trend line, and we break down through that diagonal trend line between the 17th and somewhere on the 18th. Sideways fluctuating decline, sideways S formation decline on the 18th. From a resistance level, we decline all the way to support. We do a reversal, go all the way back to that resistance, do another reversal, go all the way back to that support, creating a sideways S. And then a rally on the 19th offers a notable opportunity. I'll get into that in more detail in the paid version. But there's a prominent crest and a prominent trough there on the 19th, so a lot of price movement there. On the 20th, a fast, sudden move to the upside. Rally increases with momentum into the end of the week. And then on the 24th, looks like there's a volatile decline off of a peak or crest at the beginning of the day there on the 24th. With that peak or decline, it ends on the 25th with a fast sudden move higher. And that fast sudden move higher takes us off of a low, creating a peak or crest, another prominent peak or crest for the month. We stay above that resistance level briefly and then break back down through that same price level shortly thereafter. And then there's resistance on the 26th. It's a strong resistance level that we've come up with several times before. We keep bumping up against it. We'll fail to break through it again on the 26th. A decline through multiple support levels on the 27th. And then on the 28th, an almost irrational move to the upside, reaching for a distant resistance. I'm advised to be cautious around a peak or crest there at the end of the month. In the midst of that rally, that irrational rally, I'm advised to be cautious and not follow through on a trade on what I'm thinking of doing right then and there. So that's important to notate. And then the sneak preview for the following month, multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on a multi-day. Let's take a look at the 1 year, see if we can get some extra information. So that devil card is super important. It looks like there's a decline to an important low, and then an even lower one towards the end of the month. So we have a low, and then a fake out of some sort, and then a low, like a lower low. So that's looking pretty solid, and there's significant trade opportunity in both the beginning of the month and the end of the month. We'll get into the trades again in the paid version. And if you're interested in getting the paid version, guys, the way that you do that, it's a really great way to support the channel. You go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, hit on Eso-Meta forecasts. You'll be able to select the TSLA. Shortly, we're changing this. You'll be able to select the TSLA reading, and you'll basically be ordering the most recent prediction, and that's $111 for access to the most recent prediction of TSLA. It's a really, really great way to support the channel, my friends. Much appreciated. We always remember the names of the people that do that. That's for sure. Okay, guys, if you're watching the paid version, stay tuned. We're going to get into that. Everybody else, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Super important. It's the whole purpose of the channel. And that's what we're looking to do, is help beautiful people get more and more abundance in their lives. And at the same time, help other people. So do that, my friends. The universe will send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one.